These guys changing. 100 to 80. Not so bad. Jack versus Fefe. Apparently Jack. Apparently Jack's debut on our stream. We had never had Apparently Jack on our stream before, but we have watched his replays. We've watched a few different ranked replays from Apparently Jack. The #1 rated EU player. He loves to stay high on the leaderboard, and he loves to give you guys the 1v1 content. If you like to watch Apparently Jack play his 1v1 games, we speculate that every single 1v1 game he's played this season is all on YouTube because he is just uploading like crazy. So Apparently Jack, the guy who probably needs a little bit less introduction than Fefe on the other side of the field. Fefe subbing in for Wizz. Fefe playing some a 1v1 in place of the other youngster, Wizz. I think Fefe is a little bit older. 6 NA, yes. 180, this is pretty fair if you ask me. Fefe has played on our stream a few times. He has always been just outside qualifying for a lot of our big tournament stuff, but he's been really highly rated, as high as like 24 in the past. I think he's right around the 80 to 90 range right now, which I know a couple of these guys in this EU versus NA challenge are. And this is really, really good. Change server. Yeah, you're right. These are all USCs. Good call. Guys, I'm so sorry. There's so many little things going on nowadays that I mess them all up. So these are USCs for all of them. Fefe looking really good at the start. Fefe up to Fefe's 18. Oh, Fefe's ancient. Chat, I would never have picked Fefe had I known he was an absolute boomer. That being said, 3-0 for Fefe. Fefe feeling good at the start of this game against Apparently Jack, and this would be a huge win. I think with Fefe subbing in, you know, NA is just looking for Fefe to make a mark. And I think he did a good job against Stroyes. He just played against Stroyes in his last matchup, and it seems like he did a decent job. And it ultimately went in Stroyes' favor, but he kept him close. And now he's got Jack, and Jack finally going to get his first goal a minute in. Fefe looking comfortable at the start. Fefe's always been a good player. He's always been a top level player. I think if he plays all of today with confidence, he can come out with some wins, show just how good North America is. He's got control of the ball on the back line, and ApparentlyJack falls for the baits. Fefe lobbing this one up, and the arc seems big enough. Jack thinks he can get there. No. Fefe, that's what he wanted all along. Jack, a kickoff win in his favor. Trying to squeeze this inside the near post. That was great defense from Fefe. The early pre-jump to take away the high flicks to show that he could stop whatever Jack was going for. And usually that leaves exposed the low play, but Fefe recovering in time to keep it out. He's still in a tough spot though. Jack will score. He's too good. Once he's got a defender in this zero boost back and forth, it's just a matter of time, and he gets a good touch off the back wall. RLCS X Major Elite. Fefe, dribble from the wall, a huge lob, and not a lot coming out of it. Jack 1-2, get double touched away. Fefe, a couple minutes in, a 4-2 lead, a full field dribble of his own. Fefe needs to be careful with these, deciding not to go flip reset. He was able to do it with very little boost. More boost you can hold on to on those dribbles, the less of a risk it is. And he came out of it with 42 after making it the whole field, but he just tried the last second to tap over it. Went safety over striking and wasn't able to score. Eventually, Jack the other way. Halfway through the game, Jack working his way back into his rhythm here against Fefe. This is a good kickoff and potentially a direct goal. Jack too strong as he ties it up 4-4. Jack, another kickoff in his favor, able to grab midfield and 100. A high flick to start the bounce dribble, trying to dunk on Fefe, but Fefe doesn't even really need to get up for it at all. This was not that threatening. Way too high of a lob and landing too short of the net. Fefe can just stay glued to the ground. I mean, I hate saying the same thing a million times over and over because I have said it a lot, but you have to get those bump plays, those flicks. They need to be crossing the goal line in the air. It's almost impossible to get a bump play to work when the ball is not going to cross the goal line in the air, because that defender can just stay glued to the ground, and the Goomba stop or the Predator missile strike is so much harder on that defender who just gets to hang out. Apparently Jack getting a little bit greedy as he comes out to midfield. Thought he was going to be able to reset on midfield boost. He had like 40 too. He had a lot of boost. It didn't seem like he needed 100 that bad. But apparently our man feeling uncomfortable with anything under 50. And he will get punished. 6-4. A nice lead early for Fefe. A good save, but he's in a really tough spot. He's managed to hold on to some boost, but he was going to have to pre-jump to save that. Really good boomer from ApparentlyJack. Great flick. Just making sure to set this up in the perfect spot. No reason to rush. Fefe not going to be able to recover quickly. Jack, what a shot. Tying it up here. Another good kickoff win. Fefe forced back into his corner, electing not to try and get to that ball early. Instead, playing the backline defense, and Jack, the execution is too good from him in that situation. Fefe's going to have to try and do something different. But the kickoff game hasn't been so bad for him. For example, this kickoff big time in his favor. He sees Jack coming early, tries to take the low 50, but Jack, great adjustment. Fefe thought he could bait Jack into making a poor challenge, trying to fly this ball with low boost, but he was wrong. Jack squeezes it past, and then the pre-flip with nothing to accelerate it for the lead. ApparentlyJack has worked his way back ahead of Fefe. Fefe trying to get the midfield boost and recover. He does, but not the best tap. And he gets lost. Not holding power slide here after that first touch. It was a good save, but he tried to get really cheeky, I think, and land in a 180 and pull into that next touch. Or maybe he just did not expect the ball to move his car that much. This kickoff game has definitely started shifting in Jack's favor. He's got a big run here with a bunch of good kickoffs. Even the one that Fefe won, Jack was able to quickly counter it. A demo, but Jack got just enough of a touch that Fefe wasn't going to be able to shoot. So Fefe back into his corner. A minute left to go. He is being a crazy man, not taking this ball, really trying to bait Jack in, all the way to the point of letting it roll in front of his net. Fefe. 37 seconds to get to. Jack playing defense here on Fefe's half of the field. As long as he keeps Fefe occupied, he's in good shape. This long shot should get tapped away. Fefe doesn't have the boost to finish it off. 24 seconds. Jack, one more touch and a clear downfield. This should be it. A ninth. Oh, never mind. Great recovery from Fefe. I take it back. Why am I underestimating NA? Nice shot from Fefe. Fefe making it possible here. Making it absolutely possible here. Bounce dribble. Jack trying to show a fake challenge and then backflip into it a little bit late. Fefe taps it over him. 7 seconds. Fefe needs a huge kickoff. He's had a bunch of good kickoffs. He went for the cheese. I love it. I love the mix-up, chat, as you guys know. I love the cheese. Worth the risk. Doesn't seem like it's going to work out this time, though. In fact, Jack will get one more goal. So Jack going to take game number 1. Fefe. Yeah, we can change servers. Don't think we'll get a better one, but might as well try. All right. Sounds good. Jack going to go up 1-0 against Fefe, and we're going to try and get another server. All right. Looks better. All right. Great. Here we go. Game number 2. Fefe versus ApparentlyJack. Jack's going to give Fefe his first goal. He said it was hard-earned on the previous server. If we end up cutting that out of the YouTube, basically we tried a new server for Jack. It wasn't a great one. They played out for probably like 20 seconds, maybe not even. Fefe got a goal, and then we decided to try and get Jack a better server. So here we are on the better server for Jack. And Jack made a kickoff goal of his own. I tell you what, my connection to this server is a little weird, but as long as these guys have a good one, that's all that matters. Fefe not able to maintain his lead for the entirety of that last game. He actually went up early in the game against Jack and was leading the majority of the time on the clock, but at the end of the day, Jack taking it back, taking game number 1. We're gonna play 6 games here on these USD servers, where both of them have not so great ping. Jack playing patient on the offensive half. Fefe trying to wave dash into this one. He was fine if he didn't try and take that last touch. Jack was baiting him into that. Rolling far enough behind the ball to win a 50 if the ball was rolled right into him. Fefe, big full field carry. He's getting it there with very little boost. Nice shot from Fefe. It didn't cost him anything. Such a great first touch. He's chilling at 72 boost. He can basically just float with the ball all the way to the net. The last second redirection is enough that Jack can't get there. That's a great shot from Fefe. Tying it up 2-2. Fefe feeling himself a little bit at the start of this Jack series. Every game's so important for both EU and NA. Doesn't matter how the series necessarily goes. A nice air dribble fake from ApparentlyJack. Fefe trying to pre-jump it. Jack hadn't even gotten to the ball yet, so he can just pull off of it and not take the touch it seemed like Fefe was going to take. Jack wave dash kickoff. Not going to work. Fefe in control. Wall to air. This flip reset is far from the net. Good catch. But the 50. Oh no. An all-in play from Fefe on the 50. He could have tried to win the 50 without flipping. But when he committed to that side flip, he threw himself into the net, which just means there's absolutely no way to recover on the chance that you don't make it there in time. Or the chance that you don't score the shot. 4-2. Jack faking the dribble. Baiting Fefe in. He's been able to win a lot of these low 50s by just pulling back off the ball and letting Fefe make the panic touch as he tries to clear it away. Huge flick from Jack into the corner. A race for the boost. I thought Fefe was going to win it, but it seemed like he missed it slightly. Bounce dribble of his own. Big fake. I think he faked himself. Something tells me that's not what he meant to do. Could have been a good shot. Jack was trying to cover the angle. Likely would have been a save either way, so not too big of a deal. A high chip to himself, trying to hit it strong enough past Jack. Such a comfortable 1-2 off the backboard. Fefe to himself in the air. He's going to need a flip reset probably to get this past Jack. If he just goes for the dribble, he won't be able to get enough height. But he's greeting out the 50. He has stayed a little aggressive at multiple times in this game. He had a good shot, and both him and Jack were on 0 boost, but that position is so much in favor of Jack. It is hard to come out of that ahead when you're Fefe, but he's been trying to do it. He doesn't want to give up on his shot attempts. Fefe wall to air, flip reset so low. Jack shouldn't have that big of a problem. 1-2 in it back of the net, and he does not. Those shots have to be perfect, and that one just was not there. Fefe delayed kickoff. Cheeky kickoff he went for at the end of game number 1. Jack the long shot. 7-2 in favor of Jack as he runs it up here. Fefe delayed 50. Once again, going for that cheeky delay. It'll work this time. 3-7. Jack I think he was just indecisive. He had boost at midfield. I'm not sure what he was doing. I think he was entertaining the idea of going up to dribble it. But at the end of the day, decided he couldn't do it. And his brain just kind of froze on the side wall there because he didn't really do much of anything. He just let Fefe take that open shot. Jack, this long shot will get saved away. Fefe has to be careful on the back wall, and he is. Jack patiently taking control of the dribble. Jack up in the air right away. Gonna have a hard time getting it to net. Seemed like he tried to turn it into a musty at the last second there. His recovery is backwards. Fefe can maybe force this onto net before Jack can get there. Not quite. But Jack had a really slow recovery there. Tried to dribble for so long backwards. Maybe feeling a little bit comfortable here. Up 7-3. Doesn't think he needs to grind out too hard maybe for the rest of the game. Fefe threatening though as he jumps this one high and Goomba stomps on the air dribble bump. Fefe just a single touch more. Jack doesn't want to jump in the air. So Fefe comes and smashes him on the ground. 7-4, a minute 21 left to go. I'm noticing the Jack tendencies. At least at the end of this game, he likes to turn his camera away at the start. Personally, I'm a fan of the Night Owl tick the camera to the left or right during every second of the countdown. That's the best pre-game ritual, or pre-kickoff ritual if you ask me. Jack with possession doesn't seem too eager to take it to Fefe if Fife's not going to come challenge. And a lot of times you can bait players into bad plays in those situations, like he does right here. Jack, all he has to do is double jump once he finally convinces Fefe to try and challenge. 8-4. Fefe not looking as solid as he did in game number one. A good bump as he drops to the corner. Fefe, a full field dribble. He's been going for these a lot. Hasn't scored them at a high rate, but has been able to get a couple. I'd say for the most part, though, they've been in favor of Jack. Jack's done a really good job of saving him and taking him away. Jack getting fancy himself on the counter. This is such a slow dribble. He's so calm and in control. He's never really worried about what's going on. The ball barely gets going that fast. The shot ultimately a 26 km/h soft pinch into the crossbar. But Jack playing confident as he's up 9-4 with 26 seconds left to go. A lot of Rocket League left to be played in this matchup. Fefe, can he give us one for the road? Jack pre-jumped it. He says, no, wait, playing it off Fefe to pass from Jack. He didn't even try and shoot. 9-4 will be the scoreline for game number 2 as we progress in this series of Fefe versus ApparentlyJack. Jack versus Fefe. Jack staring out into the crowd at the start of this game number 3. Can't stand to look at his opponent. Delayed kickoff from Fefe once again. Why not? Fefe, big kickoff win. Kickoffs can be really important for him. If he can get control off all these kickoffs, I think that's when he was doing best at the start of game number 1. Can't get to this boost. Great recovery from Jack out of the net, and his shot will be his first. Jack, so good. Seemed like he was in a tough spot in his net, but he uses his flip from the recovery to fly into that corner boost and stick with the ball all the way. Fefe once again over aggression in Jack's half leads to a Jack goal. Fefe wall to air. Jack coming in from the ceiling. Fefe couldn't adjust in time. Jack, what a great challenge, and a second. Jack, he's in the zone now. What a great read from Jack on the Fefe dribble. Fefe not the worst of setups, but Jack able to take it away and get there so fast before Fefe could adjust to the oncoming high challenge. One flip reset, 2. Is he gonna score? Fefe saves it away low, but I don't think he'll be able to get back. Yes. Oh, wow. That was a great adjustment by Fefe in that last second. I'm sorry, by Jack. Double flip reset from Jack, almost able to work. If he had tried to flip into this, it wasn't going to succeed, but he just instead pulls off of it, creates a wall, and Fefe just slams it into him, and Jack gets his third. It almost seems like Jack has like stick drift, the way he always tilts to the left with his cam at the start of a kickoff. 3-1, Jack lobbing it off the backboard. Fefe can't force it through. Is he gonna look for a tight angle? He will, and he'll get it. A second for Fefe. Fefe, the underdog in the matchup for sure. Taking a game off Jorya's. If he could take some more. AppJack, I think, considered by most of everyone to be EU's strongest player. Fefe, open net. Nice play at midfield to get it past ApparentlyJack. Jack has been going for these cheeky low 50 plays all game. You see him constantly just pulling off the ball, trying not to commit really much at all, not using much boost or any flips. He's just trying to get Fefe to roll the ball into him, and then he'll take it past him. I think that was one of the first times it didn't work for him. He just kind of looks like a sitting duck as Fefe taps it over him. For the most part, Jack has done a really good job of playing that ultra patient game and exposing a little bit more hectic of playstyle from Fefe. Fife's going to look for the angle. Oh my goodness, what a save from Jack. Fefe. That was a great shot attempt. It's hard to blame him for going for that. That seemed like it would have a good chance of scoring. Jack, though, we're not going to get to see it again. Jack with just a better save. A good shot, but a better save as Jack takes the lead. The counterattack game for Jack has been the bread and butter. Fefe, ooh, he tried to squeeze with Jack on the kickoff. You could see he wasn't going to get there to get the angle, so he thought if he side flipped into it as Jack was recovering, he might have been able to team up with Jack to squeeze it in. And that actually goes to show how smart Jack is for not trying to flip into it, realizing that Fefe was just trying to use him as a wall to pinch it in. Jack is barraging the net right now. Fefe low on boost. Great setup off the side wall or the back wall to launch himself into that save. Jack will clear it out. Halfway through this game, a 1-goal lead for Jack. Fefe trying to set it to himself. Looking for the nasty read. Can't find it. Jack, a full field dribble. We haven't seen him in the air too much this game. He hasn't really needed to. That last second touch, not enough to get it past Fefe. Fefe looking for a cheeky ground dribble. Jack doing just a really good job of setting up in shadow defense, cutting off the tight angle as Fefe tried to go near post, but also being there for any strong shot to the far post. Fefe, good dodge of the Jack demo. Jack has him in a tough spot. Fefe has not been able to clear away. The aggression! These guys can't decide who's going to get the ball on the wall. They both rushed to it. Both of them afraid to challenge when the other was going to take it. Ultimately, Fefe took it away, but wasn't able to get a shot out of it. This flick soft from Jack. I thought maybe Fefe, wow, I thought maybe Fefe would try and demo him here in the corner. Jack was very clearly going to go grab boosts. I thought Fefe maybe, yeah, probably not. He's a little bit too far away. Jack, good backflip and a quick setup before Fefe can even turn around. Really nice angle. 5-3. A minute 30 left to go. Jack diving to the offensive half for a 100 boost, and he's going to make it back just in time. A 2-goal game as Fefe searches for a first win against Jack. This wave dash, not going to cut it. And Jack should, oh my goodness, Jack! Jack getting a little relaxed. He thought he had that 6th goal for free. You could tell he was just kind of lollygagging down the field. Thought it didn't matter. He'd get it no matter what. But he did miss that final touch. Yo, Yeeta, thanks for the gifted sub. Fefe. His bounce dribble. Eaten alive. Jack in control. A high pinch. Fefe trying to be the patient one now. A good pre-flip into the corner, and now Jack is going to have to retreat at least out to midfield. Fefe with a lot of space. He's going to go air dribble. Jack just barely able to tap it away. Every save will kill so much time off the clock. Fefe needs to score quickly. It doesn't look like that's going to happen. Jack, another fake dribble. Can Fefe keep it out? Probably not. Jack has just been so patient on offense. You can see he just slowly works it in. There's no rush for Jack. As long as he puts it in a tough spot, he knows he can eventually walk it in as Fefe can't find a way to clear it out. 6-3 in favor of Jack. Fefe bumping Jack out of the way. 11 seconds. That'll be it. Game number 2 also going to go to Jack. Fefe keeping this one a little bit closer. Looking better at the start, but ultimately, game number 2 to Jack as well. These guys keeping the ball in the air for the moment. GG as we head to game number 3. Apparently Jack is pretty good. Yeah, I think so. I think so. Fefe, ApparentlyJack. First 3 games in favor of ApparentlyJack. The worst case scenario for Jack now is a tie. If Fefe can win all last 3 games, it'll be a tie between Jack and Fefe. And that'll be a nice win for Fefe. I think no doubt if Fefe can win the last 3 games, NA could chalk it up as a W. We'll, copium all we need to find any way to say we're winners. Don't worry. Fefe's been playing great though. I think at the end of the day, it's important to watch these games. I think people might go back and look at the games between Fefe and Jack, and maybe over exaggerate how the results have been. Fefe's been doing a good job, and at every point in every game, he's put Jack on his back foot. That being said, Jack's gonna get an easy goal here as he power slides this one in. But Fefe just did not expect that quick of a carry off the wall. Jack hasn't dropped a game yet. Jack in the zone. Jack looking to set up an aerial play. Losing control of it right away, but winning the race to that corner boost. Jack will take the other corner as well as he slowly starts Fefe out. Jack has been so good and especially so patient, man. So patient. This has got to be frustrating for Fefe. Jack looks like he's just kind of sitting there. Fefe's trying to be clever. He's trying to pre-jump a high shot. Jack could do that. There's a chance he does that. But instead, Jack has just been going low every time. He just sits there and waits for Fefe to basically outplay himself. And as soon as Fefe starts to recognize that these low plays are coming out, Jack will just start shooting above. Jack is just such a good player. Fefe can't win the race to the corner boost, which means he will flop around outside the net with 0, but Jack saves it away. Calm and collected Jack never seems to be worried. Fefe could get a nice flick though. There it is, a first for Fefe in this game 4. Jack checking where Fefe's going to go on the boost as he drops into the corner. Fefe on the back wall. Hasn't been able to demo Jack at all. Jack has been so efficient, so perfect on offense and defense so far for the most part. Just playing the right way. Playing the best option at all times. A good early challenge. Ooh, nice save from Fefe. Jack has had a little bit execution errors when he's got himself somewhat open nets. He has missed on a couple touches, but he does win every boost race. He's not letting Fefe get any boost. Anytime these two are racing for a corner, Jack is always winning. Another drift slide in. Fefe getting rid of the ball just a little bit too much. Jack not going to take this ball to the air. I'm thinking Jack will play everything on the ground. It's been working well for him right now. It seems to be very low risk, and so I don't expect him to be taking too much back into the air. He just keeps getting these open nets from Fefe, trying to play quick defense and overcommitting on a lot of saves. What a shot from Jack. That was a huge change of pace. Jack has been taking everything slow, decides to try and rip a power shot for the first time in a long time, but Fefe able to save it away. Jack once again with possession outside the net. Another slow dribble. This one flicked high. Too high and off the crossbar. Fefe taking Jack out of the game. I've been saying it. It seems like Fefe could have been looking for Jack a lot. When somebody slows down like Jack has been playing really, really slow in all these games. It does make you much more exposed to getting demoed. The slower you play, the easier target you are. Fefe, for the most part, has not tried to demo Jack, even in these situations. A little bit of credit to Jack, though. He's doing a good job of trying to stay away and never put himself in a spot to be demoed. But I would say that last one, Fefe went out of his way. It's not normal to go past the ball and dive deeper against the opponent to get that demo like he did. But I think the way Jack's playing it seems like Fefe could get away with that more often. But a great flick from from Jack over Fefe, 4-2. A minute 17 left to go. Jack playing so well. Fefe, flip reset, far away from the net. He might have been able to get a touch that will stop Jack from getting a counter, though, on what was a super, super risky flip reset attempt. Fefe needs to calm down. He's giving it the bot hump on the wall. You love to see it. A demo, and Jack is too good, man. Oh, never mind. He's not even going to power shot this one. He's going to chip shot it. I thought he was going to rip a boomer before the spawn. But he truly has fully committed to this safe and slow play style as he will drop it down. We need a golf commentator for the way Jack's playing. We did some golf commentary on stream not too long ago. Jack just picking apart the opponent tactically. Doesn't need to do anything flashy. Doesn't need to fly around the map. Just exactly what he needs. Huge, huge bounce dribble. The biggest bounce dribble we've ever seen. Can you believe he wasn't able to get the next touch? Jack, 20 seconds left to go. Surely he can just wait out the time. He is going to bring it over to Fefe when he really didn't need to. Game number 4. Going in favor of Jack as well. Fefe looking outmatched so far. The series win will go to Jack, but still an opportunity to snag a couple games for Fefe in the final 2. Jax always does this. He likes looking at the crowd. He wants to look at the Rocket League symbol up there. Do the whole kickoff with your camera the wrong way, Jack. I dare you. ApparentlyJack versus Fefe. Fefe, can he find a game win here against arguably the best that EU has to offer? He has played well, played honorably, but has not been able to steal one. Jack, a tight angle. What a shot from Jack. This is a hard angle. Fefe a good clear. He drops this ball into a really tough spot to shoot. But Jack, the single touch, wave dashing onto the corner to get a little extra speed and finding the great angle. I think I saw Triton got rank 1 on the leaderboards this morning. Did I not see that tweet from Triton that he got up above whoever was currently rank 1? Fefe, ooh, went for a cheeky shot, trying to come out of the net to tap it back in. Not able to do it. Jack, another slow dribble. That has been his mantra or his go-to play all series against Fefe. Get the ball, take it into a slow dribble, very low-risk play. He also can rip long shots when they're available, though. A boomer of a shot from ApparentlyJack. Game number 5, going the way of the rest of this series. Fefe, a good outplay though. Able to take it all the way from his back half. Jack finally punished for playing a little bit too slow as he dives deep into Fefe's back line. Fefe, good win to get to the corner boost. Oh, sorry, the midfield boost, but also the corner. Steal it from Jack. The tight angle. Fefe ties it back up. And Fefe has always looked good. In the first 2 minutes, I'd actually say that Fefe has kept it close. I feel like he's maybe even tied the game to start every match. But the problem is, Jack just finds a way. He picks Fefe apart in the later half of the match or the game. Or, you know, maybe Fefe completely misses the ball. Was he trying to initiate a dribble? Oh, he just missed the touch, dude. But then he jumped off. You lag, you saw red bar. Ooh, Jack. Jack very aware. He has a lot of confidence in Fefe. He knows Fefe's not missing that touch for no reason. What a shot from Jack. Jack's so good, man. He's just playing it so perfect. A great catch. Sees Fefe shadowing on the near post. Places it perfectly in the far post. Jack trying to be a good guy. Trying to give Fefe a goal, I think, for that lag play. Too kind. Recently rated by Reddit one of the nicest pros in the game. I don't know. Seems pretty mean to Fefe right now as he's up 4-0. Not laying off him. Fefe dribble from the corner. Not going to be able to get any sort of shot off. Maybe he was looking for the ground pinch, but couldn't find it. Jack is such an interesting mover of his camera. At such weird times, he just moves it around. I wonder if he has super low sensitivity on his camera, or he just likes to mess with it. At the start of this dribble in the corner, every time Fefe is not around, or basically just he's going to have a couple seconds alone, he always is just moving the camera a little bit. Just pointing it at something else. Like right there, too, he just pointed it straight at the ground after that kickoff. Fefe! Fefe's looked good. These wall-to-air dribbles have definitely worked on occasion. And he's also stopped them from being instant counterattacks like they were earlier in the series. They're maybe not as lethal as some of the other NA guys that we watch, but not bad. Seems like his one go-to is the setup where he flies to the ball, connects with it just outside the box, and then uses the flip right away. As opposed to some guys who can get that flip reset super early and then dribble it to the net, which feels like it has so many more ways that it can end up, making it a little bit better of a strike. But Fefe will put himself back within one. A minute 52 on the clock. Fefe, 2 minutes to try and steal one for North America. Fefe lost the ball there on that dribble. Started the setup, but flew ahead of the ball way too early. Jack not going to have a hard time tapping that one away. Fefe, his flip reset shot, double! Oh my goodness, doubling it off of Jack. Getting the reverse shot. We'll watch it from Jack's perspective. Fefe looking nasty with the wall to air. Jack trying to hover above the net to make the save. Fefe drops it low. Ends up getting the low 50 in his favor. Jack refuses to look at a kickoff. Minute 30. Fefe, he's staying close, but he's not working his way back into a lead. Jack taking him out of the game in the corner. Setting up a double to himself. Can't find the angle. Fefe a good 50. If he can win this boost at the midfield, he should be able to get a decent shot on net. And now it's about starving Jack out, and that's just impossible. Jack had more than enough boost. He's playing so efficiently. It seemed like Fefe might have had Jack in a tough spot where he could initiate, an extended possession. That's just not happening against a guy this good. E4 saw it, held onto his boost, and had an easy clear. Jack, the angle. He started this game with the angle, and he might end it as well. See, this is the kind of play that Jack is so good in. He's so good at forcing Fefe into his net, making him play defense with low boost out of the net for extended periods. Whereas Fefe has never had Jack in that situation. Every time Fife's scoring, it seems like he's able to take it from midfield. He has to score on his first attempt. It doesn't seem like he can ever continue it for an extended possession. Nice bump though. This is the second attempt. That first shot off the crossbar and out, but he's able to stick with it and bump Jack into the world. It seems like Jack was jumping at that exact moment to help him careen him into another world. 6-7. Jack needs this bad. Or sorry, not Jack, but Fefe. And Jack has possession. And he is so lethal. Fefe able to get the save. He's trying to pre-flip out to midfield. I don't hate this. What Fife's trying to do, he needs a goal bad. And he's trying to be cheeky and think, if Jack's going to clear it all the way back, I'll pre-flip out to where he's going to take it. And we might squeeze it together and push it downfield. He was banking on Jack doing a full possession play back into his half instead of cutting it back on net, which is not a bad guess. Fefe needed to guess something in that moment. He wasn't going to be able to get away with just playing it like the clock didn't matter. So a gamble, but it doesn't work. Jack will take game number 5 as well. Fefe able to keep it close, but Jack looking very comfortable. Last game, Jack versus Fefe. Jack winning every single one up until this point. This is the same way the Joria's series went against Fefe, and he was able to save the NA side with the last game win in overtime. Can he do it again against Jack? Jack hasn't lost to a soul yet today. I forget who he played in the first one. Probably, I can't even forget who's playing for NA. Did he play Dries? Was it Jack versus Dries? And Jack got all 6? That's impressive. Fefe, this long shot. The spin is going to help him a little bit. I think he had it slightly offline, but the spin, as it rolled on the ground, pulled it ever so slightly back. Best of 5 or 7 will be better. So for the matches on the same server the whole time, I ended up getting a couple of US West players. These ones would make sense to do best of 5s or 7s, but for the ones where you have to switch back and forth on the servers, best of 5 and 7 doesn't really work because somebody's going to get a server advantage. And it just seemed like it made more sense maybe to just allow ties and see how it went. But ultimately that resulted in these West games having to be played with just a best of 6, even though we don't change servers at all. Jack back up once again. Jack checks to see where Fefe is. I realize now why Jack does that. On the kickoffs, he's pulling his camera up to see what the opposition is doing. I've never seen someone do that like every single kickoff like Jack does. And it seems like a no-brainer. If you have the muscle memory of the kickoff and you don't really need to worry about adjusting it, you might as well check and see over the ball what the opposition's doing and make the right adjustment. He's given himself a bit of a better angle. And I don't think I've seen anybody do that. Nice low 50 play. That has been Jack this whole game. Fefe trying to work his way into it. Can't quite do it. Not against the guy so confident and so controlled. Jack with a bouncing ball, waiting for Fefe to just make a mistake. That's really the best way you can describe how Jack's playing. He's just putting the ball in tough positions and then waiting to see what Fefe will do, what kind of mistake Fefe will make, and then just punishing whatever variety of mistake is forced out. This time, he chips the ball up. The mistake was challenging early. So what does Jack do? He pops it above and then slowly taps it in. Yeah, Fife's played really well. I mean, it seems like we're on a trend for another 6-0 for Jack. Fefe has played honorably, as I said before. Jack, I mean, I've noticed that Jack looks really comfortable. I have to give a lot of credit to Jack because at the end of the day, he might get a 6-0, and he does look really confident. He does seem like he's got a lot of confidence in himself, and he believes that he'll get there no matter what. Doesn't seem to be too fazed by anything that Fefe puts on him. Fefe has found the lead in a lot of different series, or a lot of different games. Fefe has tied and led the game a lot, but it doesn't matter. Jack knows he's got all 5 minutes, and he uses every last bit as he slowly works down Fefe. And we've just been playing the entirety of this game in this situation, it feels like. Jack with the ball, Fefe in net, Fefe trying his best to clear it away, to gain a possession, but it just doesn't work. Here he clears it out to midfield. Jack has yet another possession. He fakes the hook shot, gets the 50, and scores. Every time Fefe comes to challenge, it goes in favor of Jack. He's just playing so perfect. He has great reads on what Fefe is doing, and he's always having possession. Fefe never seems to have possession. Fefe has to score the first couple times he touches the ball. He's having to score off of it. And if he doesn't, it's back to Jack. Slow dribbles. Possession for the majority of the game. Once again, he's got possession. As he flicks this to the wall. Fefe! Nice play. Fefe getting a third. Able to punish Jack. Ever so rarely. Jack needed some boost for his dribble. Was trying to take it to midfield to reset. Nice cheeky delay. Little 180 and using the flip right at the end of the 1.5 seconds to try and get it past Fefe, but it didn't work. But got a good shot out of what was basically nothing. Jack, too strong. Too strong. The man booming this long shot. Ooh, what a huge cancel, dude. I'm so impressed. I talk about it all the time. People's cancels are so impressive. I can't cancel like at all. And it seems like Jack almost didn't even use a front flip. How perfectly he canceled it. Jack up 6-3. Fefe getting aggressive. I like it. I really want to see Fefe increase the bump game. I don't know if it'll work for him, but right now, almost anything could be better. Jack's been doing so well. Fefe goes to bump, and he launches a chip shot all the way in for a sixth, because Jack is playing so grounded and so patient. And I can't help but feel like the counter is some demos or some bump plays. But so easy to say, much harder to do against a guy like Jack. Fefe, I'm reading chat a little bit, seeing Evo's name. Fefe, a good challenge. Backflip, needs to find the angle. Jack finds a way to save these, it seems like, unless Fefe misses. Then Jack can't save it. But look, Fefe on the offense for the first time. He's got Jack missing. Great sign for Fefe with the last 42 seconds. We haven't really seen this at all. Fefe finally going back and forth on Jack. Jack trying to make saves in net with 0 boost and getting exposed for his early jumps. A fresh sign for Fefe, and he'll need to keep that momentum up the next 40 seconds. Jack quicker on the kickoff to the boost, but not to the ball. Fefe's so aggressive. Diving in, he's not going to be able to reset on any boost here. He'll have to pick up the corner. He can't. He has to make a save. Jack will steal it away. Fefe does not get off the ball. He's finally earned himself some space. Jack with another dribble on top of his car. He scores every time he gets it there, and this is no exception. Fefe working hard to gain possession off that kickoff. Jack holds on to it for the entirety of the 20 seconds, and then a nice pop over Fefe. Fefe, 15 seconds, 2 goals. Gonna be a tough play for him. Jack not even gonna come to the net. Jack, another 6-0. Great playing from Fefe though. Keeping a lot of the games close. Ultimately, Jack proven to be too much. Number 1 in the whole world on the leaderboards. Number 1 for EU. We'll take all 6.